Hello, my name is Julia, and welcome to a brand new series of Wiki 3. As the title says, we're playing as Finland today, and let's actually jump into... We're actually probably going to go with the Egalitarian Society. I've tried some of the other ones before, but I think we're going to go with that one. And actually, if we go back for a quick moment, just to go through... So I do not have the Charters Commerce DLC. I do have the others now, thanks to some decent sales that were on Steam recently. But anyway, so let's start with the Egalitarian Society, select any country. So we're playing as Finland. Our goal is to, well, we're going to try to get the tank-related achievement, which is produce, I think, 100 units of tanks per week or something like that as Finland. Then we're also probably going to try to get the independence, but that's, the tank achievement is the primary one. If we do get the independence, great. If we don't, then I'm not going to fret about it too much. And of course, we're going to try to go through the Egalitarian Society things, which seems like it could be quite useful. Now, I did actually try to play as Finland, or try to record a series of Finland before, but that was before the Charter of Commerce was released. It was earlier this year, I just don't remember when exactly. But that did not go too well. I got very frustrated with it after a few episodes of the recording, so that never aired. But let's first of all, let's start damaging relations with Russia. I'll try to get the relations fairly poor. Then let's have a look at research. Actually, we're going to go with the dialectics research, because that's going to allow us to research faster, which is going to be very handy. And then, well, the nationalism could be handy. There's, of course, the corporate charters, which would be also quite handy, but I don't think we'll have enough buildings quite yet to actually form any companies. So that might be a bit of a premature in that sense. We could go for the railways. That's usually a fairly important early one. And then maybe go something like baking powder, because baking powder to, well, make more groceries, that's usually fairly good. And then I think it might be time for us to start already getting some of the military things. At least one. Right, so as Finland we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 states. And the northernmost one, let's actually have a look. So that's got a decent bit of iron, got a bit of logging camps, a bit of fishing. Then over here, Ostrobothnia, we've got some logging, fishing wharfs, some lead mines actually as well. So we could probably put... Actually, since we've got quite a bit of authority, let's go ahead and start putting down some degrees. So we'll probably put the resource industry in here. We'll put another resource industry in the north. And we can probably put another resource industry in here, because there's a decent bit of mines, a lot of logging over here as well. Now, we already got some iron mines in there, so yeah, we'll probably put that for now. We might later on change that, for example, to the agriculture or manufacturing for that matter. But yeah, let's get the resource. I'm going to put in manufacturing in Newland. And the West Karelia, we are going to... you know, that's got quite a bit of agriculture, so we could probably turn this into agriculture. But it does also have some more iron. But basically what we have is we've got lead, iron, a whole lot of wood, some rye. We're going to have a bit of livestock ranches as well, so that does mean that we can get at least some meat and some fabrics and things like that, but not a huge amount. So we are kind of poor in terms of resources. And then in Åland we've got just some fishing and logging, so we're not really going to do too much. But I'm going to put in the agriculture over here, and then that one's already got the edicts. So we've got 5 of them total. That's fine. Then let's have a look at the laws. What could we... Actually, first of all, let's reform the government so we can get a decent legitimacy. That'll probably help. And then laws, we could... Ooh, we could try to go for the charity hospitals, actually. I'm going to do that. There's not a whole lot of opposition for it. It's got a decent bit of support, and that will then increase the... or rather, reduce the mortality, I guess. And increase food security and less pollution impact on health. So that's going to be good. I guess we know that we're going to be building a lot in here, so we'll build a 1 construction sector first. We could potentially then get an iron mine in here as well, because I'm pretty sure that we'll need a lot, and then after that we'll get a food industry, because that is a very decent money maker early on. We'll probably get a textile or tooling workshop, that's also another decent option. Glassworks wouldn't be too bad either. Although glassworks, I should probably put that in... Oh, actually, we do have some lead mines in here. Ah, interesting. Yeah, glassworks could be alright. But I think we're going to actually start with the tooling workshop, because we'll need a decent bit of tools for the logging camps and all that. So, let's unpause. Actually, no, before we do unpause, let's have a look at Russia. Who are they allied? Or what do they have? They got some protectors. They got rival with Britain. They got some cruisers. Okay, so Prussia, I think I might be able to improve relations with you. And similarly with... Oh no, I can't do that with Britain yet, but what we can do is we can declare an interest in England. And also, maybe we'll put one in Scandinavia. You never know, I mean, we might have to move that elsewhere. We might even try to do a bit of colonizing in Africa at some point, depending on, like, what laws we can pass and all that. We shall see. Yeah, the reason why we're keeping the relation with Russia poor is so that our liberty design doesn't go too far down, because we don't want to become a puppet, because that's going to be very expensive for us. Right now, I don't actually know, do we pay them anything? They might not have calculated that, or maybe we don't actually give anything yet as a personal union. But anyway, let's unpause. We can get the construction sector underway already. And we have liberated slaves, there we go, so that's one already. We need to pass some laws, encourage liberal thoughts, so intelligence needs to be powerful and part of the government. That might take a while. Oh, mechanical tools are actually spreading now, that's going to be quite handy. Higher learning. Excellent, so we get more university throughput as well, that's very nice. Man, I could have taken more political strength, but that's alright. I mean, that's actually not necessarily a bad idea either, because that might then mean that the intelligence will eventually become powerful. Now, of course, they don't currently really appreciate us. I'm sure that will get sorted out. Now, we could also put in another tax in here. I'm going to put the liquor tax. That seems like a very Finnish thing to do. So we'll put that in there. And, oh, another thing that we do need to build, or we want to build soon enough, is a trade center. So we can actually start doing a bit of trading from here. It's mostly going to be, I think, automated, if I'm not mistaken. So you don't need to do the trade routes as such anymore. It's just the trade centers will import and export stuff from the market into the global market. And I think it's probably prioritizing things that are needed locally for import and then export, like whatever makes money. Oh, Russia's improving relations. Okay, so it's slowly going up now. Not a whole lot, but it's at least delaying things a little bit. Now, I believe, yeah, we've got the England things sorted out now, so we can start improving relations with England. And eventually we can hopefully get independent, or support for independence from them. Now, we might not be quite ready for a independence quite yet, though. So we can wait for that for the time being. And the charity hospitals, we've got 2% opposition from industrialists. And 35% support from, oh, what do we have? Rousing speech captivates the public. Yeah, I'll take the 15% support. So that's now about a coin toss whether we go forward or not. And the construction sector is almost done. We'll eventually get that to the iron frame building, but right now it's going to be just the wood frame building. Now, admittedly, it's going to start utilizing the private sector. They've only got £12,000 right now, though. It's not going very high up, and it does mean that it's basically not going to be using most of it quite yet. We'll get the iron mine in there, that's going to be very handy, because I believe in the Russian market... let's have a look. So things that are in high demand, clothing are pretty high demand, tools are very high demand, well, fairly high demand. Tea is incredibly high, but we can't quite grow tea in here, unfortunately. Iron is not too bad yet, but I'm pretty sure that the Russians will be demanding a whole lot of that, or requiring a whole lot of that, especially once they switch to the iron frame construction, which I'm pretty sure that they will sooner or later, when they feel like there might be enough available. Our current army is only 5 battalions, and then we've got 1 light ship, which doesn't bode too much for our independence, or dreams of independence yet, but we'll eventually expand that a bit further. We will probably want to get a another iron mine over here as well, and then also we'll get a tooling workshop in here, using the iron tools there, and I suppose we could also, this iron tool, or tooling workshop, we could use the iron tools, because we will have another iron, or at least 1 iron mine in here. Yes, we've got quite a bit of construction underway. We don't have a whole lot of influence available, but I suppose there could be perhaps some other nations that we could improve relations with. We need a lot more points. Never mind. Hey, low progress consideration. Excellent. We do have a little bit progress. We don't actually have a leader in the army right now. Which one do we want? Meticulous could be quite handy. We'll take that one. As rural folk, and we'll switch to defend front, just in case. It does take a little bit bureaucracy, but it's not too bad. I think we're going to manage for now. Let's go on speed 5 for a little bit while we wait for the construction to be done. But at least we're making money, which is nice. We could even potentially reduce the taxes for a brief while. That would increase the legitimacy. It would also reduce the minimum or expected standard of living, which probably would mean a lot more loyalists. the same time, we do have like 3-to-1 loyalists to radicals. Of course, that's probably going to be fluctuating a lot along the way, so it's not really that... Oh, hey, there we go. Low process ascend, so we just need one more success. And we'll have our first new law assignment. Now, to be fair, we've got the institution over here for the law enforcement, but that is the local law enforcement, which does mean that the landowners will get more strength, so we're not actually going to increase that quite yet. The education we will eventually, but we've got a decent literacy rate already. I'm sure that it's going to be improving over time, but... ooh, landowners now powerful. Well, that's to be expected, quite frankly. We do get a little bit more influence because of that. In fact, we're going to go and improve our relation with the Baltic governance. Oh, military extension. Okay, so literacy is now going down quite a bit. But at least we are not expected to join in any wars of Russia, so that's good. Well, this got into with the industrialists. You know what? Yeah, I'll take the 15% or plus 15% in there. It doesn't mean that the industrialists are going to be quite tiny in comparison right now. We'll eventually probably support them a little bit, but right now it's not too bad. Yeah, so resource-wise, we are quite small. Now, I don't actually know if we can ask for... I guess that's a drafted treaty, isn't it? Investment rights. Ah, right, as a subtrade, we can't do that one. That's fair. And they can't support our independence, I don't think. No, because they've got a treaty with Russia, I'm pretty sure. Okay, well, in that case, we could actually just go ahead and... Well, keep that there for now. But with England, we could get the support for independence. And if we give them the Power Embassy, they would actually take that. So, I wonder if I could take a bit of money. Oh, there's a weekly basis as well. Okay, so we won't be able to get too much. No, oh, we can actually write there. Okay, let's see. 500? We can get a bit more than that. 750? Ah, right. If it goes below... Let's put that back to 500. They still won't necessarily take that. What about 400? Yeah, still... Okay, we probably need to go pretty far down. Even 200 is too much. Well, I mean, they most likely would still accept that. Let's see... Oh, no, that's not what I meant. Because they would take this. So that's going to be a bit of support, and we get a bit of money out of it as well. And we got the charity hospitals at the same time. Very nice. Progress cost of health system minus 20%. That's actually quite nice. The church does get a bit more powerful. They are actually the most powerful of the troops right now. With the extra money that we're getting from Britain, we might be able to... I suppose once we get the iron mine over here, it might be time for us to switch the construction sector into the iron frame building. We might not have quite enough iron for that. That will reduce the wood requirement, admittedly. That would also increase the... You know what? We've got the money right now. We're going to afford losing a bit of... or having a bit of deficit for a brief while we get the extra iron mine in here, which does mean that at least a decent chunk of that is provided locally. It might not be providing enough, but a decent chunk of that nonetheless will be. Now, we're losing about 2,000 ducats, not ducats, 2,000 pounds per week right now, which is not ideal. I've been playing too much EU4 recently. Everything's ducats. Landowners petition the government. Plan to enact autocracy. No, I don't think we want to go for autocracy. We've got oligarchy right now. I'm kind of, I'd rather go for landed voting, really. There's a bit of, opposition for that, admittedly. We would get some of the, actually, is there any other... So first of all, I'm going to say no to that request. That does mean that the landowners will be somewhat upset, but it's not too bad. We might lose... No, actually, we won't even lose that one. Yeah, so relations with Britain are improving. Now, this treaty won't be lasting more than 5 years. But hey, at least we're making a bit of money. And we got the embassy from them. Oh, Schleswig is improving relations. That's a bit of a surprise. And there we go. The iron price is skyrocketing in the Russian market. Now, we also will need a lot of tools. Now, we are first getting the food industry, because that's going to be very useful. And I suppose what we could do for reducing the demand for sugar from elsewhere, we'll get the apple orchard over here in Newland. And then I suppose what we could do, Well, the other areas, if they've got a farm, which I suppose over here we might want to get another farm. Also get a livestock farm in here, just for the heck of it. So that way we can get a little bit of the other food types, and also, well, we don't have a shipyard. Actually, what are they? Oh, they're going to be funding a, what are they privatizing, or trying to privatize a furniture manufacturer in here. Currently, it's all owned by the shopkeepers, I guess. That's alright. Or the local workers, I guess. But yeah, population is, well, it is growing, it's not very high. That does beg the question, though. No, we can't increase that any further. We could try to go for the dedicated police force, but there is a lot of opposition from the landowners. Although that would reduce their power even further, so that would be one option. I do want to keep the professional army, that is going to be very handy. Interventionism, I'm not going to go back to agrarianism. Interventionism is going to be probably as good as it gets right now. Taxation, we can go further back, but that's not going to be ideal. We could probably try to go for the landed voting. It might take a while, so let's give it a go. You never know what happens. You might get lucky. And then, yeah, the food industry, that is still taking another 9 weeks, I guess. Which isn't actually that bad. Our GDP hasn't grown too much yet, but I suppose the fact that we've got the iron mine over here definitely does reduce some of the costs, although we're still losing a lot of money, so maybe it's not quite enough. We might want to just get another iron mine in here, but we are building another iron mine in Kuopio as well, so there is that. We're getting a tooling workshop in here, which is then going to allow us to do the mining in here for cheaper, which is also going to be quite handy and still get a decent bit of profit out of it, no doubt, as well. Of course, that is one of those that takes 600 construction points, so sins of the past. How do we take it? Plus 10%? Or will cost some popularity, so that's a petty bourgeoisie. Ah, right, it's all the government. I think we're just going to go with the plus 10 right now. We don't want to blame anyone too heavily right now. Well, there we go, yeah, the radical numbers are going slowly downwards, and while the loyalists are going up, the standard of living is improving. And yeah, we did get the food industry. That is probably going to be quite valuable, I would say. Let's actually put the sweeteners in there as well, so that's going to require a bit of sugar. I'm pretty sure that there is... Oh yeah, there's plenty of sugar available in the Russian market. So that's good. World market, there's a bit of... I guess a bit of shortage? Hold on a minute. Oh, there's right, there's more exports than imports. Right. So there's a surplus, essentially, in there. That makes a bit more sense. It's just kind of those numbers seem somewhat backwards in there. But regardless, so I do actually wonder, is the food industry, that is owned by the state itself right now? Could probably sell that at some point, but right now I'm pretty sure that if we try to sell that, it is actually going to be purchased by some Russians. And I'd rather keep the ownership in Finland right now, quite frankly. Oh, they started building a glasswork in Ostrobothnia. That is actually good, because we can get the lead mine in here. Which actually, yeah, we might build that. Because we can then, first of all, I guess we get the leather glass, we can get the ceramics in there. But that would allow us to get a lot of glass in there. Which would be rather handy, I would say. Monument to the Tsar. I'm gonna say here with the Church of Finland. I'd rather not build too many of those. Right now, I don't want to have a whole lot of radicals, is the thing. Bait failed. Well, that's, I don't know. Maybe we anger the RNG by not building that statue. Oh, right. Whenever the private sector is actually doing some construction work, which they are right now, it does mean that, well, one, of course, our industry is getting built slower, but that also means that we are actually making money, so we didn't quite run out of gold reserves. We don't have a whole lot right now, but at least we still have some. Is what matters. I mean, going a little bit into debt is not too bad. But at the same time, is there... Because we can probably go ahead and remove the... improve relations there, and improve relations with France instead. I'm going to get both France and Britain to help me for independence. We might be able to get the independence sooner rather than later. Now, of course, we may need to buy quite a bit of trade centers for various things. But yeah, well... Oh dear, debate failed again. Well, we're down to 13% now, so I don't think the landed voting is going to go forward very quickly. And it looks like the standard of living has dropped down a little bit. Which is not ideal. The tools are still quite expensive. The tooling workshop is still... that's another 18 weeks right now with the current speed. Of course, once the glassworks and also bottom... Oh, that's 51 weeks, never mind. So this is actually still going to be done first. Then we'll get the trade centers, we can start doing a little bit of export and import, which is probably going to be for the best. We've still got about 1.5 million population, so it is slowly increasing, it's just not a whole lot. We've still got about 250,000 peasants. And of course a whole lot of dependents. Gainfully employed actually don't make that large a portion yet. Actually, let's have a look at the population chart a little bit. So peasants make about 2/3 of the population. 85% of Finns, there's 14% Swedes, and there's a 0.5% Sami. Alright then, I mean, that makes sense. I guess there... Oh, there's a tiny bit of Russians as well, but that's a very, very small minority. Religions is mostly Protestant, there's a little bit Orthodox. Dissenters break ranks. Oh dear. Well, we can reduce the landowners' pop attraction at least. And thus reduce their influence later on. Legislative failures. Okay, so we'll take that one set back. I'll get back to 24%. Oh, I didn't realize that landowners are the only ones supporting this. Oh, crap. Well, never mind. I suppose we could try to support one of the political movements. Now, which one movement was it that was supporting this? The absolutist movement. We could bolster that for a little while. Then maybe get a little bit more support for it. We'll see, but yeah, I guess we'll start with that. The tooling workshop is soon completed. And we've still got about a 2-to-1 of loyalists to radicals, so that's not too bad. But yeah, so the goal for this series is probably mostly play fairly tall. Try to maybe build some, like, if we can get independence, start building up some industries in other nations, because our population is going to be fairly small, but we can still pull in a lot of wealth potentially in here in the long run. There we go, we've got the tooling workshop. That's no doubt going to be very, very profitable as soon as they actually get working. Right now, of course, they've just been built. They haven't hired anyone quite yet. They won't be hiring until 1st of November, because I guess they recently failed hiring. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that they will start hiring very shortly, because I'm pretty sure that the tools would be quite profitable in here. Plus, we do have a little bit of iron production locally, so at least there's some of that. Although, even locally, we've got -30 right now, which is not ideal. But yeah, it's already making 50 weekly balance, so yeah, it's slowly picking up some steam there. And that will then make the iron production a little bit cheaper, for example. Not necessarily a whole lot, but it's still improving at least. Our relations with Russia are still, well, they're still increasing, but I suppose not very quickly. The trade center is going to be 6 weeks away. The private sector is building a tooling workshop in Åland afterwards. Okay, that's a peculiar location for it, I will say. Because there is no minerals in there. And that is still going to be using some... Well, I suppose it might... I guess there is some peasants there. So that would be somewhat useful. I might build the rye farm in there. Farming boom in West Karelia. Excellent. Now, I suppose one thing that we should have a look at is if we still got peasants everywhere. And I think we do. We do. I mean, Åland doesn't have a whole lot, but the population's 28,000. So it makes sense that there's not a whole lot in there. But I'm looking forward to getting the trading going on. Now, that is... we can probably build up a second level for the trade as well. There we go. Oh, playwright. I could get the +10. You're right. Yeah, I'm going to take the +10. I could have increased the popularity of landowners a little bit, but it probably wouldn't be like that massive increase. I think the 10% or the raw 10% is going to be more valuable for us. I'm still making money. It looks like the investment pool is still increasing quite nicely as well, so that's actually a very nice surprise. I wasn't expecting it to be going quite as well. Oh, gold discovered at North Caucasus. So one thing that does actually bother me is there is no chance to discover, as far as I've understood, a chance to discover any gold in, well, northern Finland, Oulu state in here. But it's, historically speaking, like in the 1860s, there was a bit of a gold rush in, like, up here in the north, in particular. But also, like, current day, the biggest gold mine in Europe is located in northern Finland. So there is gold in there. And some of that was, you know, within this time period. But it's been neglected, unfortunately. Yeah, still making pretty good money. We could... actually... I'm going to reduce the taxes for a brief while. It's going to increase the legitimacy. We might not make it as much money, but that's honestly fine. We got 55,000 actually, so we don't have a whole lot of gold reserves. But it does increase the standard of living even further. It does also probably help a little bit with the population growth. Now, there is a bit of a limit, like, once it goes past a certain point in standard of living, then after that, the population growth actually slows down. So there is a bit of a limit on what you probably want to do in that. It looks like the glassworks are just a few more weeks away. We're, of course, building another tuning workshop, which, honestly, I reckon there's still a whole... Yeah, there's still quite a bit of demand for it. Should be a pretty good price. I mean, how much is... Oh, vassalization 2. Okay, what does that mean? 25% income transfers from subjects. Ah, okay, so that's probably going to be more expensive for us. Actually, let's have a look. So subsidy... No, that's a port subsidy. So we don't actually... Oh, because we are... Right, we're not a vassal yet. Unfortunately, the situation's not looking too great for us. But let's have a look at France. Could I perhaps do a treaty with you? No, you're not willing to support independence right now. Is that because of Britain? Yeah, you're cautious towards Russia, okay. I do wonder then, if we have a look at Russia, the Ottoman Empire would be potentially a kind of a friend. Let's actually have a look at the diplomacy. So they got rivalry Ottomans and Britain, so that makes sense. They got a personal unity over me, exempt from service with us, and also, oh, the Russian-American company. Wait, is that Alaska? Yes, okay, good. I do actually wonder, so what about us? Our diplomacy. So Russia wants to protect us. France does want to protect us as well. Ottomans, okay, they view us as a potential threat. Not that we are, but I guess they do still view us that way. Oh, we got... I'm going to have to probably cancel the improved relations with our fellow subject over here in the Baltics, because that's right now costing us a bit too much influence, and I'd rather not be in the... Oh, no, the debate failed. Yeah, this it's not going too well, this land voting vote over here. And I do see we are actually out of time with this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out the links down below in the description, but other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.